What is going on, guys? It's your boy Dyllan and welcome back to another Division video. Today I have my first build guide for the Division. I understand the game is coming towards the end of its life cycle now. The Division 2 is coming out on the 15th of March, but I still wanted to do a build guide because I've really been enjoying this game recently, and hopefully this sort of gives you guys an idea on what I use for certain things. So this build is going to be for soloing legendary missions. It's going to be a classified tactician build, and it's going to be completely centered around using your skills. All of the kills you pretty much will be getting will be skills only. You will never really be shooting your gun. And this overall for me is such a fun build to play around with, especially in any PvE activities. So like I said, it is mainly for soloing legendary missions. But let's get straight into it. So, starting off, we'll go over the weapons, and then we'll go over the armor pieces, then we'll get into the skills and the talents, all that sort of stuff. So, starting off with the first weapon, we have a tactical ACR. Now, this is a low gear score weapon. You may be wondering, why the hell do you have a 173 gear score weapon? The reason for that is because the lower the gear score of the weapon, the less stats you have to actually have perks for the weapon, if that makes sense. So for example, I've got talented on here, so if I was to have this weapon be say 280 something gear score, I'd probably need like, I don't know, something daft like 3,000, 4,000 firearms on here, right? Basically the requirement increases the higher the gear score is. So that's why I've gone for a low gear score, because we just want the talents to be active so we can get extra benefits for our skills, whilst we're using them. So the way I got this low gear score tactical ACR was as I had an old blueprint. I went up to this crafting station, went up into here, and let's see if I can try and find it real quick. If I'm not, there you go, tactical ACR blueprint. As you can see, gear score 163. It's a really low gear score weapon, so that's what I just crafted, and then obviously tried to get the right talents on it that I needed. So getting into it, the talents that I have on here are talented. Killing a target with this weapon increases skill power by 15% for 20 seconds. The effect does not stack, but killing a new target refreshes the timer. Really good talent to have for a skill-based build. The next talent on here is Determined. Killing a target reduces all skill cooldowns by 7.5%. Again, really good for a skill build. I'm pretty sure that you don't even have to get the kill with a weapon. If you get a kill with a skill, you just get the extra cooldown. I'm pretty sure that's how it works anyway, because sometimes, like when I use my sticky bomb and I get like 4 or 5 kills of it, it's pretty much already cooled down and I can already pretty much use it again. So I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Don't quote me on that, because again, I've only been playing this game again for about 3 weeks so far, so I think that's how it works though. And then I've got Swift on it, don't really care about that. I only wanted the Talented and Determined. That's the only really 2 talents that I care about. Moving on, I have a sniper rifle. Again, this is just an all-around good sniper rifle in my personal opinion. I use this with my Sentry's Call build. I use it for my Hunter's Faith. Basically, any other sniper build I use, this is my main go-to sniper. So all of the talents on here are too high for stat requirements for me to be able to use. It's got Discipline, Prepared, and Elevated. Elevated is obviously active because it's the bottom talent on the weapon. Overall, this sniper is just for dealing damage at a very long distance, playing it safe. If you want to snipe an enemy or two, but for the most part you won't be using your guns anyway, so it just doesn't really matter. Moving on to the pistols now. I have a Golden Rhino, purely just because I think it looks cool and it's an exotic and it's golden. That's the only reason I have it. Now, if you wanted to play it a little bit smarter, a lot of people that run a classified tactician's build will have a low level pistol. This is a high level pistol, unfortunately. I actually need to go try and farm a blue one on a new character. And what you want to do is you want to get cool-headed, the cool-headed talent on the pistol, right? So performing a headshot reduces all skill cooldowns by 5%. That to me is ridiculous. I mean, you can just spam headshots with your pistol and you can get your skills back at ridiculous rates, especially the main one that you want to be trying to get quickly is your super. That's what most people use a cool-headed pistol for, just in case you was wondering. But again, I just don't really care about that. I never use it anyway, so I just have a golden rhino on, just purely because it looks badass. Moving on, getting into the armour now. We'll go over the Tactician's armour pieces first. So, starting off with the chest piece, this is a classified Tactician's chest piece. We have, in total, 5 pieces of classified Tactician's Authority armour, and we have a high-end backpack, which we'll get to in a second, and I'll fully explain it to you. So, the chest piece is rolled for electronics. As you can see, 1,908 electronics. We've got skill haste and enemy armour damage on here. Skill haste is really good, it allows you to get your skills back really quickly. Enemy armour damage is always nice, again, being able to deal extra damage towards enemy armour is just an all-around great talent to have for PvE. Moving on, again, because we have 5 pieces of the Tactician's gear, we have plus 15% skill haste for the 2 set bonus, plus 10% skill power for this 3 set bonus. For the 4 set bonus, we have every bullet you hit enemies with adds 1% bonus skill power. Every bullet your deployed skill hits an enemy with adds 0.2% bonus skill power. Skill power bonus max is 30%. Bonus is consumed upon your skill use. So, the 5-piece bonus is plus 5% skill haste and plus 5% skill power. Moving on to the mods, I have 2 prototype electronic mods in here, that plus electronics and plus skill power. The reason I've gone electronics and skill power, again, is because this is a purely electronics build. This is just for using your skills. You will not be shooting your weapons very often. And the extra skill power, again, it just makes your skills really effective. You can get them on cooldowns a little bit quicker, and they deal more damage, so what's not to like? Moving on to the mask, again, it's rolled for electronics. We've got enemy armor damage and damage to elites. Again, damage to elites is just really good for PvE overall. I mean, yellow bar enemies are pretty much all over the place, so that's why we have damage to elites. Moving on to the bottom for the mod, we have electronics and skill power again. Moving on to the knee pads, again, rolled for electronics. Then we have skill power, damage to elites, shot resistance, and increased kill XP. The main 2 stats you want on here is the skill power and the damage to elites. Going down to the bottom, we have a mod, which is electronics and skill power. Then we have a performance mod, which is a Seeker Mine damage plus 4%. Moving on to the gloves, again, it is rolled for electronics. Then we have skill haste, enemy armor damage, and health on kill. So again, skill haste allows you to get your skills on cooldown quicker. Enemy armor damage is just always nice for PvE. Health on kill is just a nice benefit to have, so you can get a little bit of health back every time you kill an enemy with a skill. Next, oh yeah, I forgot gloves don't actually have a mod or anything in them. Next we have the holster, again, doesn't really matter what it's rolled for, because once you fully actually max out the gear score on it, every single one of them is the same anyway. Then we have a skill haste, and then all the way down the bottom we have a Seeker Mine damage mod in here as well, plus 4%. Now, moving on to the backpack. This is a debatable one. A lot of people have different preferences for the backpack. Some people even have a Tactician's backpack in here, then they'll go with, I think it's the Barrett's chest piece. There's lots of combinations you can do, but personally, my personal favourite is to use a Relentless backpack. So, it's rolled for electronics, and Relentless is 5% of all damage dealt by skills is returned as healing. It's just really nice to be able to regen your health, especially with you being a glass cannon. Say if you get shot by a sniper, you got 1 bar of health left now. If you get shot once more, you're dead. So what you can do, throw a Seeker Mine out, regen all your health back. It's just really convenient to have, in my personal opinion. I really do like this backpack. So we have skill power, and then ammo capacity. Then on the backpack we have an electronics and skill power mod. Then we have 2 performance mods, which are plus 4% Seeker Mine damage. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the armor pieces that I use for my build. Again, there's loads more, a couple of other backpacks you could use. There's inventive and specialized. So I mean, there's lots of other different ways you could build you know, the class up itself, but personally this is my personal favourite. 5 pieces of classified tacticians and then a relentless backpack is the way I like to build mine. Moving on, we will get into the skills and the talents for the build. So I go for the recovery link super. Again, if you're playing solo and you're soloing legendary missions, sometimes you may get rushed by a shotgunner, or you may get shot a few too many times, and it'll proc your recovery link so you can actually survive. This comes in very handy. I mean, you know, you don't really use your super, I guess, because you're not, you know, I don't know. It's just not really a build centered around using a super, I guess. You know, it's mainly just about using your sticky bomb and your seeker mine, should I say. So personally, that's why I go with recovery link. It can save your ass in multiple situations. First skill that we're going to be using, again, is the seeker mine. This is really good for dealing bleed damage to enemies. The bleed is very, very brutal. And I'll show what I mean by that in a second. So the mod that you're going to want to equip on here as well, obviously you've got the base one, you've got air burst, gas charge, or cluster. Make sure you have cluster equipped. It's by far the best mod for the seeker mine. Then going ahead, we have the sticky bomb. This is another one of your main skills. This one deals a butt ton of damage. Really good at taking out your healers and just like sort of your high priority targets. Things that you want to deal a lot of damage to, you know, in a second, basically. So I have the BFB mod, which increases the damage and radius of the explosion and may cause targets to bleed. Obviously then you've got flashbang and disruptor, but just make sure you use the BFB mod because it is by far, in my personal opinion, the best one you can have. Moving on to the talents. Now, this is debatable. There's multiple ways you can build this if you want to, but I go for shrapnel. Applying bleed to any target triggers a 30% chance per each target in a 10-meter radius. Just really good overall. Again, obviously if you're using your seeker mine, that will bleed enemies and it has a chance to sort of like spread and deal more damage and all that sort of stuff, so it's really good. Next thing is Demolition Expert. Killing a hostile with I can't speak, Jesus. Killing a hostile with an explosion to increase explosion damage by 20% for 15 seconds. This one is absolutely brutal. If you use your sticky bomb first, kill an enemy, and then throw your seeker mine out as well, or you know, vice versa, the other way around, it's pretty crazy the amount of damage you can deal. Then we have Death by Proxy. Destroy a hostile's deployed skill to increase skill power by 20% for 30 seconds. So for example, you know, if the enemy puts a turret up, or they put a med station down, or you know, an enemy deploys their own seeker mine, just stuff like that. If you destroy it, it'll increase your skill power by 20%. So really good overall, buffing your skill power damage. Then we have damage multiple hostiles with an explosion to apply 20% more damage from the blast. This can actually be pretty useful at times, and in certain situations it's actually gotten me a lot of kills. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. That's all the talents, that's the skills we're going to be using. What I will say is, if in certain situations in legendary missions there is sometimes a hunter at the end of the mission. Now what I do if there is a hunter, I'll try and kill all of the other enemies first. Once all the other enemies are dead and it's just the hunter left, what you want to do is you want to put a turret on for the cluster mine, and then you want to change the mod on your sticky bomb to flashbang. What you're going to do with that is you're going to basically flash the hunter, throw your turret down, and then just rinse and repeat until the hunter's dead. You can shoot him with your gun as well, because obviously it'll be flashed, you won't be able to move. And that for me is just the best way to go about killing the hunters in my personal opinion. But anyway, let me just quickly put my correct mods on here, and then we'll quickly go show you guys how the build works overall. So we'll go Amherst's apartment, we'll go legendary, and flash out to the location. Again, I'll just clear like the first little area, so you guys get a rough idea of, you know, how I use the build and how it functions basically. when it decides to load me in sometime soon. There we go. So again, make sure you've got your auto rifle equipped in your hands. When you're doing Amherst's apartment, we're just going to wait for this guy to turn around real quick, just so we don't get spotted.
If Amherst's not the guy, I'll eat my centrifuge.
If he decides to, please. There we go. So what I usually do for this one, climb up here, go up here, and then go on this wall here. Now over here somewhere,
exiting the safe area.
There's usually a medic. Where is he? So sniper's up there. 2 guys down there. Where's the medic? There's always a medic, usually. You know what, first things first, we'll just get rid of her. Actually, no, what? It's there. So wait for him to stop, stick him. That's him dead straight away. As you can see, yeah, this is legendary difficulty, and the sticky mine, or sticky bomb, just pretty much one bangs them. And you just send out your seeker mines, that'll slowly but surely deal damage. Try and always prioritise the healers. The healers are going to be the main priority. Obviously, if you don't take out the healer first, they're going to be healing all of the damage that you are dealing to them. So that's the main reason you're going to want to, again, try and get rid of the healer before anything else. So again, use your sticky bomb whenever you can. Throw out your seeker mines. The seeker mines will seek them out, deal massive amounts of bleed damage. And yeah, I mean, just watch them bleed and die. There's nothing really much else to it. This is actually, like I said, one of my favourite builds in the game. I think it's absolutely hilarious that you can just, you know, sit perched up somewhere like this and just spam your skills. You don't really have to work hard or do anything specific. And yeah, I mean, you get results. As you can see as well, we took a bit of damage there and I managed to regen the health back. That's the main reason I go for a Relentless Backpack, just so you can regen the health. It, in my opinion, is extremely useful. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much the build. I mean, there's nothing really too much else to it other than this is the speed at which you run the missions through. Again, it might be boring to some people, but this to me is just, it's so funny to watch. And yeah, that is pretty much the build, guys. So I'm going to pretty much just stop talking now. If you want to watch this last little bit of gameplay and let me kill these last couple of people, even though I'm probably just going to kill them by the time I stop talking anyway. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy the build, hopefully it helps you spec into your Tactician build, and hopefully you can start soloing your own legendary missions. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day as always, and until next time, peace.